Hi, I'm Sue Herrera. I'm the Director of Instructional Development and a consultant at StepUp. And I'm here today as a follow-up to the session 3 on the principal series, where I talked about teacher growth guides and the evaluation system. I want to talk to you today, if you're a current StepUp client, about how you can use your StepUp products to assist you not only with monitoring growth goals of teachers, but also when you're in classrooms observing. How can you use your StepUp tools? If you're not a current StepUp client and on the network and would like more information, just let us know. I'm going to start by going back to those growth guides on Department of Ed. I want to make sure that when I mention growth guides, we're all picturing and thinking about the very same thing. And so let me get my computer adjusted here because I really want to show you what this looks like. You know, we recognize this educator because she is on every single document that we use for our growth guides, and we know we're in the right spot. We're looking at those professional frameworks to help our teachers grow as educators. We're starting with Growth Guide 1.1, which is academic language. And those go all the way, those growth indicators go all the way to 9 point and 9.3. One of those hallmarks is professional collaboration. So as I'm mentioning those growth guides, this is the document I'm referring to. We have our Missouri Assessment and Teaching Tool books, not only the books, but we have them digitally as well. All of our books contain Marzano-like scales that StepUp has developed that align to our priority standards. We have our ELA map books, K through 5 and 6 through 12. And then we have our math map books, K through 5. The 6 through 12 is coming out very soon. And then we have our science and social studies, which we are in the process of writing and hope to have those out to you very quickly. When you open up either your digital scales or your map book, you will see scales that look much like this. This happens to be fourth grade R1A AB, drawing conclusions and citing textual evidence. And it is set up in a 4-3-2-1 framework, much like Marzano, where 3 is proficient, 4 is advanced. We've got our 2, which is just below grade level, and then below basic. So how might we use our scales to help us with monitoring teacher growth goals? And how can we use it when we're in the classroom? So we're either going to pull up a scale digitally or we're going to have the book with us. And when I'm in a classroom, I'm going to be looking for the I can statement on the board. I'm going to be looking at lesson plans. I'm just going to be listening to determine what is the priority standard or supporting standard that the teacher is teaching today. I'm going to find that in my digital tool or in my map book. And I'm first going to look for Tier 1 instruction at a level 3 or proficient level. And that aligns with Educator Growth Goal 3.1, implementation of your curriculum standards. And that means I'm going to start at this level 3 for whatever priority standard we happen to be in. This is where it's unpacked for the educator. So I'm going to be listening as a principal to some of these terms and see if it's broken down this way. Then on the right side, I'm going to be listening for these high yield questions, which aligns to 4.1 critical thinking in the Educator Growth Guide. It doesn't have to be these exact question stems, although these are from the item specs on Department of Ed, but they should be in line with this type of questioning. Here is a released item, and so I might be listening for this sort of question stem as well. Again, your level 3 is going to align to implementation of those curriculum standards and then critical thinking. So how could we address 2.4 in the Educator Growth Guide? That is your reteaching and your scaffolding. That would be in your level 2. You know, our scales do a great job of really providing educators with clarity about how do you bridge those gaps in instruction. We've got on the left side how you might teach it, what are the missing skills in order from I'm almost on grade level to I'm kind of far away from it. And then on the right side would be, how am I going to ask students to engage in this discussion and this learning, these activities, in order to bridge the gap to get them closer to Tier 1 instruction. We provide anchor charts, we provide resources, and where we can, we're going to provide videos and released items from the grade level below. What about academic language? Academic language is woven all throughout the scale. You've got it on a level 2 where we're saying this is the vocab they might be missing. But we also have it on page 1, right above the standard. We list all the process vocab, the essential vocabulary, the content vocabulary that educators need to be using. You might find those on an anchor chart. You might find students putting them into their interactive notebooks. Hopefully you're seeing them on a word wall of some sort. But to move an educator along the continuum in their growth guide, we would need to hear students accurately using the academic language. And to identify what that language is, you've got it right on your scales. If you want to expand your definition of differentiation to include those students that are beyond the priority standard, who are above grade level and need enrichment, that would be Educator Growth Guide 2.4. And we can look on the level 4 of our scale, and you can see that we are unpacking what would that next level be for the priority standard. And on the right side, we're giving you assessment type questions. And where we can, since this is a 4th grade scale, we would give you a 5th grade released item. And again, here's that screenshot of the level 2 just below. So you've got both sides of the priority standard. Another thing that we have available within our StepUp products are vertical progressions. And vertical progressions are essential when it comes to differentiation because it helps educators understand how a standard builds from kindergarten all the way to high school. This one happens to be on text features. And I chose this one intentionally because it shows some of the confusion that educators have sometimes with certain standards. When we think text features as teachers, I'm guilty as well, we often think just identifying text features. Do they know what a table of contents is? Do they know what an index is? Do they know that there's always going to be some bolding in nonfiction text? But that is really nowhere in these standards on text features. For example, at 3rd grade, it says, use text and graphic features to locate information and to make and verify predictions. You go all the way back to 1st grade, it says use text features to locate specific information in the text. It doesn't say label the text feature or identify the text feature. And so your vertical progressions provide that clarity that allows teachers to teach to the standard, but also be able to differentiate if they need to. Vertical progressions are also great for educator growth guides with your special education teachers because you are able to help them see how the standard grows and what the present level for the child is. So this would be a good 3.1 as well, which is curriculum implementation of the standards for your special education teachers. And finally, we have proficiency scales digitally that are available within the curriculum management tool. This would align to Educator Growth 7.3. We're trying to develop assessment capable learners where they know what the success criteria is. It should not be a secret or surprise to your students what it looks like to be performing at mastery or the proficiency level. We would not want to just hand this to students. We would want to create this with them, and perhaps even on an anchor chart in the classroom so that they know what it looks like to be right there at proficiency. What would it look like if I could go beyond? And then what would it look like if I was almost there at proficiency? So looking for that in the classroom would align to 7.3. I hope you've heard something today that is useful, that you can implement if you have StepUp products already. If you don't have StepUp products, we would be happy to help you get information about how to acquire those. You can jump on our Missouri Instructional Leaders Network, or you can email me at suh@stepupconsultingservices.com. I hope you have a great rest of your week.